Hello all. Very good morning and good evening. Thanks for joining the session. Let me share my screen. Hope you all now able to see my screen, I guess. Thanks for attending the uh, demo on the Java real-time project using the microservices architecture and React.js as the UI. So the project is Market Insurers Analyzer, which will have the AI capability embedded or integrated as well. So it's the AI Market Insurers Analyzer, Artificial Intelligence Market Insurers Analyzer. So it's belonging to the domain called P&C, I mean Property and Casualty Insurance domain. So coming to this project, you all might know the duration of this project that we're gonna target it is 75 days to 90 days. That's the targeted duration. That's the targeted duration, 75 days to 90 days. The entire duration, let's view it in a two parts, right? So one is the backend implementation, and second one is the front end implementation. Give me a moment. Okay, so the backend implementation and then the front end implementation, right? So we're going to use the microservices architecture. So the backend is what we're going to design and then develop the microservices. And then the front end is what we're going to use the React.js, but not the micro front ends. So we have a concept called a micro front end in React.js, but we are not going to use that. It's just the React.js library that we're going to use and then build a control plane where all the services will be integrated to give a complete product suite, that is the market insurers analyzer product suite to the end customers. So what is this project is about, right? So market insurers analyzer, what is this project is about? So nowadays, in the market, we have the lot of insurance companies, right? So the insurer here, the meaning is a insurance firm, insurance company or insurance organization, which will provide the insurance coverages to the uncertainties that might cause. So if any uncertainty will occur, then the insurers will provide the insurance coverage. But we are not dealing the the market insurers analyzer MIA is not dealing about the health insurances. It is dealing with the property and then the casualty insurance. So what is there in the property and then casualty insurance? Usually, what are the main actors we have in the property and then casualty insurance? And how the MIA will benefit the insurers, I mean to say the insurance companies versus the property owners and then the property agents, property brokers, right? Who are all involved in the entire product suite. So how it will benefit there is what we're gonna discuss now. First of all, to understand about the market insurers analyzers thought, um, the product concept, in order to understand, the product is, the product will not provide any insurance coverages. The product what we're going to build will makes the process of getting the insurance coverage very easy. How it will do, right? How it will do is, so in this product, we have the main modules or the services called the property owners, and then the property quotations, and then the property agents, not property agents, insurance agents, insurance agents, and property brokers. So these are the four actors for whom we're going to design and then develop this product for. So what is this MIA is dealing with? Usually, if you are a property owner, if you have a property, right? So what we're going to do, we gonna insurance that property. So we in the sense here, the property owner always will see the market and then find out who are the best providers, best insurers, best insurance companies who can provide the property insurance for his needs. Let's say you have a property which is of type house, which is having the, let's say, 3 floors, and which is having the, let's say, 1200 SFT, 1200 SFT, right? So for this house property, the property owner wants to get the insurance coverage of amount, let's say, 10 million, not 10 million, yeah, 10 million. Let's say 10 million is what the insurance coverage he is expecting. He is here in the sense the property owner. The property owner is expecting to have the coverage of 10 million. But the property owner wants to pay, right, the monthly installment, right? The monthly installment the property owner wants to pay as, let's say, you're going to pay the installment as, let's say, $500, right? So this is what his need is. So you have property owner have a property which is of type house, which will have a 3 floors, and each floor have the 200 SFT, and he wants to have the insurance coverage for the 10 million, and he would like to pay every month the premium. We can say it as the premium. So every month he will pay the premium of $500, and within this $500 premium, if any property damages happens or if any losses happens to the property, then the insurers, to say the insurance companies, have to provide the insurance coverage up to the $10 million. So that is what the need of this property owner, right? So this need, the property owner will do what? Whatever he is looking for, he will fill this information and then put it as a quotation, property quotation. So what is the current problem in the market now, and how our MIA, market property insurance analyzer, will help this property owner? So in the current market, if the property owner will go to the open market and then search for the insurers with this requirement, there are two problems. Problem number one, he may or may not find the right insurer who can provide the insurance coverage as per his need. That's the first problem. Assume he found out, let's say 5 to 6 insurers he found out, right? Then the next problem is how he has to go with them, right? So that is the next biggest problem. I mean, to say the property owners cannot go directly to the insurance companies to avail the premiums or the coverages. So insurance companies will employ the insurance agents for that purpose. Okay, listen carefully, because understanding the business is very, very important. Once you understand the business, then you can, the implementation is very easy. But the business understanding is very important. What is this project about? What we're gonna build is very important to understand. Okay, so assume you are a property owner, you have certain requirements, and you want to get a good coverage, insurance premium coverage, the market. So, but we don't know. Meaning, being a property owner, I may not have a proper knowledge on it, right? I may not have the proper knowledge on the premium coverages, I don't know. I just have the requirements in my mind. So now these requirements need to be converted into the reality. So we'll do that. There should be someone who can help me. So that someone is nothing but what? Either the property brokers or the property agents. So now property agents were employed. Property agents were employed by the property insurance companies. We could call them as the insurers. So the insurance agents were employed by the property insurance companies. So usually when he go and then search for the property insurance coverage in the open market, he might find out the few of the insurers, and to go further, he has to go and then talk to these agents. He has to find out the agents, and finding out the agent, talking to the agent, discussing the agent could be a not so easy task. Meaning it's not so easy tasks, right? Because the agents might have a lot of deals. I mean, lot of work, a lot of premiums that they are already working on. So wait. I need to wait for some time, right? I need to, you know, I need to keep on follow up with these agents. Sometimes the agents may or may not replied back to me as well sometimes. Assume I got the 5 insurance companies who can, you know, provide the insurance with my requirements. And they are showing these are their agents. So now the property owner go and then consulted the agents, but none of the agent were replied back to the property owner. Assume the property owner waited for a week, but no response got. Waited for a month, but no response got. Because the insurance agents might not be interested at this quotation, so they are not getting back to this property owner. But property owner don't know what is happening behind the scene, right? So at one fine day, the property owner will get frustrated after waiting for such a long period of time, like 15 days or maybe the 1 month. Then the property owner maybe realized, oh, my quotation might not be the real worthy to the, I mean, my property quotation might be not real worthy to the insurers to provide the insurance coverage. To realize that, the property owner might took 30 days of the time. He wasted 30 days of the time, right? That's the biggest pain point, biggest problem for the property owners. Now imagine if there will be a system, right? If there will be a system which can takes these quotations and which can go and then, pass this quotation to the insurance agents and then get the insurance agents responses back, or maybe the property quotation what the property owner submitted. So imagine a system where it will take the quotation and give the response back to the property owner about the status of that quotation. Maybe it is the accepted by the property insurance companies, or maybe it is rejected by the property insurance companies. If rejected, what are the factors they were rejected? The recommendations. Just imagine a case if the system will be there who can provide these recommendations back to the property owner if the quotation will be rejected. And imagine a system if the property quote will be approved by the property insurance companies, then giving back the, further proceedings through a proper communication channel, right? So that will be makes the property owners' lives very easy. And there will be no wastage of the time because the system will have certain criteria to whether to accept this property quotation or to reject this property quotation. So the system will have a certain criteria of maybe a 7 days or of maybe a 15 days. That's it. So the property owner waiting time, or the property owner will get an accurate response back, or at least a tracking back, right, about his property quotation, whether it gonna approved or maybe the rejected. Just imagine if that system will be, then the problem of the property owners will be solved. So that is what our market properties insurance analyzer will do, right? So market properties insurance analyzer is what it is doing. The MIA is a property market analyzer tool designed and developed for the property and casualty insurance domains needs, right? So core part of the insurance policy premiums issuing is not our job. We are not doing that. That will be taken care by some of the applications or some of the products which are already there in the market, and they will being used by the so many insurance companies. So there is nothing we no need to do. We no need to do anything there. But the point is what our market insurers analyzer will gives the a proper insurance quotation, properly verified, properly authenticated quotations will be given to the third party systems to convert it as a insurance coverage, right? So now if you can see the, um, give me a moment. Okay. So if you can see the flow, how it will be is, just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Let me try to show something. Okay, probably I don't have it right away. But the point is here, let's see. This is what our MIA, right? And this is what the third party product, third, third party product, which will create the policies, actual policies, which will create the premiums, right? Which will create the policies and then the premiums. But this third party system required an input. That input is what the valid quotation, property quotation, isn't it? Who is the property owner? What is the property? Whether the property verified or not? And what is the property coverage is looking for? That information is needed to this third party system. So who is giving that? That is what we are giving. I mean to say the MIA, Market Insurance Analyzer, is giving this. So how it is giving? There is a huge story. I mean to say this MIA contains the property quotation, right? I mean property owner first of all. So the actors of the system is property owners. Property owners creates the property quotation, right? So property quotation will be verified by the insurance agents, and these insurance agents will approve or reject to convert into the insurance premium. This is what is the flow, right? Of course, I just have drafted it, but there are a lot of stuff involved in this. When we go to the detailed implementations of it, there were a lot of things we need to discuss. But in an outline, this is what it is, right? So if the insurance agent accepted it, so if the insurance agent, okay, your quotation is fine for us, we can give you with the $500 installment or the premium payment every month. If disaster happens, we can give you the coverage of 10 millions. That is okay. If the insurance agent will say, okay, okay, right? I mean, if we accept it, it will be converted into a real insurance premium. And later of the time, this will be taken care by this third-party tool. We don't care about it. This is not our job. Our job is to what? Our job is to bring the right quotations, verified quotations to the insurance companies. So we are helping the insurers, I mean to say the insurance companies, by providing the authenticated, verified property quotations, right? So we are helping the insurance companies. We in the sense what? MIA, Market Insurance Analyzer. This product is helping the insurance companies, and this product is also helping the property owners in resolving all the issues that we discussed, right? And also it is helping the insurance agents by sending the property quotations to the agents. So right now, what is happening? Agents have to go to the market and then find out the quotations. But our MIA is doing what? Hey, agent, you don't need to worry about it. Sit and relax. I will give you the quotations for you. You just review it and then accept it or maybe reject it, whatever you want it. You just relax. I can provide you that. So our MIA is making the three actors' life easy. One is the property owners. Second one is the insurance agents. And third one is the insurance companies. How beauty, right? So that's where this MIA is all about. So that's what we're gonna build it. Okay. So AI MIA will takes care of the property owners' needs by like when property owners code the insurance needs, then MIA will helps the property owners by sending the properties agents or properties agents, when by sending the property quotations to the property agents and property insurance brokers. Here I need to update one single sentence, meaning it missed. What I mean is when the property quotation will be created, that will be sent to the agents and then the brokers. Then AMIA helps the property insurance agents and then brokers as well by converting the property quotations into the, I mean, this property leads is not, we are not going to do all, we are dealing with the property quotations. So ACMA, meaning AIMIA helps the property insurance agents and brokers also by providing the property quotations to the the agents and then the brokers. So once they got the complete details, then the agents will contact the insurer and customize the insurance coverage packages to the property owners, right? So the agents will talk to the insurance companies and then they will customize the insurance coverage packages to the property owner. Thus, MIA is helping in grabbing the business for the insurers, I mean to say insurance companies, agents, and brokers. So it's grabbing the business for them, and it is making the life of the property owners smoother, right? And here the beauty of our product is what? It is AI integrated. So MIA will be the AI integrated to find out the current day property insurance coverages offering by the various insurers. So this is the case that we need to discuss actually. So let's say the insurance agent rejected the quotation. He rejected it, assume. So when he rejected it, he has to let the property owner know about why he rejected, right? So whatever the rejection, with the rejection reason, and also any suggestions, right? So let's say this is the open market. So in the open market, for your quotation, these may be the companies which are offering. Or if you change your quotation, not 1 million, not 10 million, probably 1 million. If you change your quotation for 1 million, then these are the insurance companies which can provide the insurance coverage for you. However, right now I am rejecting, and then the reason is this, and so and so. And this will be now sent as a recommendation. This will be now sent as a recommendation to the property owner, right? Now here, the recommendation service needs to know the current market trend, because to analyze and to prepare the recommendations to these property owners. And hence we're going to use here the AI. Spring AI is what we're going to use here. Okay. So this is the whole purpose of our project. Hope you all got the project concept, right? If you all got the project concept, right, then let's go and then see the what are all the services that we're going to max implement, and I know how the system will be, what the system architecture is. And here very important is what? The terminology, because we are dealing with the PNC domain, right? So we need to know the terminology of the PNC domain as well. So that terminology we can that PNC domain terminology is what, let me, yeah. So the PNC domain knowledge is required actually, right? So, but about this knowledge, just a terminology, important actually, but we can even discuss this in our coming up sessions. Let us park this aside. Let's move on to the next things. Like we discussed about what is project is, right? And what does that project will do. Then the next is what we're going to use in this project implementation within this duration of the 90 days. What are the technical stack we're going to use, and what are the modules or the services we have, and how many kinds of services we're going to divide into, and then how they're going to implement, and all we'll discuss. Now coming to the tech stack, the backend or the middleware, backend and the middleware. So the technology is Spring 6.x, Spring Boot 3.x, Spring AI, Spring Retry, and Data Elastic, Spring REST, Spring Doc Open API, Data JPA, Spring Security 6.x, Spring Cloud, NoSQL, MongoDB, and then Redis Cache, Bucket4j Rate Limiter, Oxon Server for the distributed transaction management, and then the Apache Kafka for the event streaming platform, and then the RDBMS database we're going to use, then EFK we're going to use for the logs purpose. Grafana and then Prometheus we're going to use for the monitoring purpose. Then Resilience 4J we're going to use to provide the more resiliency to our services. And Micrometer and then Zipkin we can use to trace the services to services communication. So these are all what the technology or the framework stack that we're going to use for our backend. Coming to the UI and front end, so we're going to use the React.js and RxJS, Netlify, Axios, TypeScript, and then Material UI. I mentioned Material UI, but I already have the template. I mean to say the templates will be available in the open market. We can purchase the template and then we can use it. So we already have those templates, and that templates we're going to use to build our UI basically. I'm going to show that. And then the React.js is what the library that we're going to use. And Netlify is the server where our complete UI will deploy. Okay, now coming to the security, what we are using. We are using the Keycloak as the IDP, identity provider. And we're going to use the OpenDJ as the directory server. I can show you here. This is what our system architecture. You can see here. We're going to use the Keycloak as the IDP and OpenDJ as the directory server. And what else we can use? Of course, we're going to implement the RBAC and then ABAC and GBAC as well, group-based access control, attribute-based access control, or PBAC, permission-based access control, and role-based access control. And of course, we're going to secure our REST APIs for sure using the JWT, I mean to say OAuth2 and then OpenID protocol we're going to use, and then we're going to protect our REST APIs. And also we're going to secure our single page application, that is our UI, React.js application. Yeah, we're going to use the protocols like OpenID Connect and then OAuth 2.0. Then this is about the security. Coming to the build and deployment, the whole system, right? So the whole system, this is what the entire system is. So the whole system is going to build as the Docker containers, basically. I mean, not build. Yeah, we could say build, yes. So the whole system can be built as the individual Docker containers. And then all the Docker containers will be composed and then orchestrated using the Kubernetes, and then will deploy in the Kubernetes namespaces. So that's the build and deployment, the tech stack. And during our implementation, these are what the microservices patterns or the principles that we're going to use. Like bounded context, domain-driven development. This is very, very important. Probably the prerequisite for this batch is what the Spring Boot and microservices, right? Microservices, if you don't know, that is fine, not an issue. But Spring Boot is mandatory prerequisite for this course because we're going to implement the project. We don't discuss about the theoretical aspects of the subject. Because we already have a lot of use cases. It's not so easy to build such a system what we are discussing, right? There may be a lot of the architectural decisions, architectural designs, considerations, use cases. Lot many things will come in our day-to-day classes. So that's where this is purely the hands-on implementation from scratch to the real product phase. And if you know the Spring Boot, you are well invited for this implementation. Microservices, if you don't know, that's okay, not an issue, because you're going to learn microservices by the implementation. That is the best way of learning. But Spring Boot is mandatory. Cool. So we're going to use the polyglot architecture. Of course, that is one of the microservices principle. And then we're going to use the bounded bounded context. This is very important. Without this, without the proper understanding of this bounded context, it is very typical to understand the microservices basically. So whenever we start the implementation, first I'll give you the complete picture on the bounded context. What is the domain-driven development, and then what is the bounded context, and how the microservices will be aligned into the bounded context, and what if there could be a shared bounded context? Is there any possibility of having that? We're going to discuss all those. Then the centralized config server, and then service discovery, and API gateway, centralized log analysis, Zipkin, and then micrometer, resiliency, right, and monitoring, um, distributed access management like Keycloak, IDP we are using. So these are all basically the patterns. So throttling, event streaming, tracing, resiliency. So these are all what the patterns basically. So these are all the patterns we're going to implement in our day-to-day project. Okay, hope you got it. You got the project concept. Now you got the tech stack that we are using. And now let's go and then discuss about the services, business services that we're going to build. Okay, before going to here, I would like to show you the UI, how our project is. This is what our Acma product dashboard is. As I discussed, see, we have the brokers, we have the agents, owners, and properties, and then the codes, and then the leads. So we're not going to deal with this one, but we're going to deal everything with this codes basically. So now this is the admin view. The administrator will be, when logged in, the administrator can be able to see how many quotations the ACMA received, the AMA received, and how many property owners were onboarded or registered or created the quotation, and how many brokers were there, how many agents were there in last week, how many total quotations we got, and then all these things, it is in the dashboard. Now if you go to the owner perspective, right? So this is the owner's perspective. So owners will have the many properties, right? So owners may have the many properties. Now the owners wants to create a quotation to get the insurance coverage for those properties. So that's where, if you can see here, the business services, if you can see, properties owner service, right? See this? The owners, when logged in, what are all the owners can do? What is the responsibilities of the owner? So to implement this owner's functionality, we have the business service. We're going to implement the business service called properties owner service. This properties owner service will have, let me just, okay. Properties owner service will also have, it's kind of, properties management service, I could say, which can manage both the owners and then their properties. It's a properties management service. So see this, it is like this. Yeah, this is what it is. Properties management service, which can manage the properties basically, right? So which can manage the properties. So properties management service, and then the properties management is having the property owner's information, and then if the owner wants to register his property, so he can register his property. What is his property is, let's say his property is square foot, 1280 square foot, and then year built is, let's say, 2019 in the year he built. Number of floors are 4, then a priced value, like at the time this is what the domain terminology is. We'll discuss about this domain terminologies. I mean, PNC domain knowledge we'll discuss later, but let's give some value. Let's say this to $20,000 or maybe the $2 lakh, I could say. $2 lakh is what the priced value, and replacement cost may be the $2,50,000. And right now the market value is 4 lakh, 400K dollars, and the address is, let's say, um, mm, let me just give something, house number, let's say, something, and mm, yep, this is what the address. I'm just giving a dummy data, right? So I want, I mean, this is in here, and it's in Hyderabad. Some randomly I'm just choosing, and then the 5 lakhs 72 is the pin code. Then construction is what the basement type, and then the property is the residence property, and then occupancy is what the owner occupancy. I'm the owner, I want the coverage for this one, right? So I'm just creating the property. See, as soon as I'm creating the property, my property details are here. Now for this property, the properties are there, what? Then the quotations can get created. So for this property, then the quotations get created. See, whatever the property we created, the property is here. So this is what, the complete product suite that we're gonna implement, right? So it's purely the business orientation. So what are the business services we're going to build is the properties owner service. I mean, it is the properties management service, properties quotation service, and the notification service, and agent service, broker service, and market analyzer, as I already have drawn here, right? So this is a market analyzer, and agent service, and the broker service, and quotation service, owner service, and then the recommendation service, right? Ratings and recommendation service, and then plans, and then campaign service. So what about this plans and then campaign service? So it is something like this. So we have our website. This is what our website actually, right? So this is what our website. If we can go to the pricing, there is a pricing model. So agents, see, our market insurance analyzer, properties analyzer is helping the insurance companies, helping the insurance agents, helping the property owners. Then what is the revenue for us, right? So they have to use our product by subscribing to our product. So we gonna give the plans basically, right? So they can take a free plan. The free plans can only be taken by the property owners, but not by the property brokers, or not by the insurance agents. No, they don't have. They have to pay, and then they have to register. So, but the property owners will have the free plan. So free plan, or the business plan, or the developer plan. So that's where we have the plan service as well. This campaign service is, I'm not going to touch this. This is not going to touch. And then this is also I'm not going to touch. Everything will be dealt by the rest of the services. So I'm just crossing this. Plan service analyzer. Broker is what? An exercise. Broker is a side way. This is what who are enrolling into this project. They have to implement this broker functionality, because the agent's functionality is what I am going to implement. So based on that understanding, you have to, being a enroller, if you want to practice hands-on, you have to start this broker service along with me, where when I'll start the agent service. Okay, so this is broker service is the exercise, or maybe this is for the students who gonna enroll for this project, but I'm not going to implement that. So the rest of the services is what are we gonna fully implement. these are the business services. Okay, because they're talking about the business business things, core business things, right? So what is the property owner is, what is the property court is, what is the agent, who are the agents, and what is the market analyzer, right? How it is doing the, if we can go here. Mm, let me just scroll down. Yep. Yeah. So you can see. So this is the market analyzer. So market analyzer is what it is doing. So here we're going to use the Spring AI basically, right? So what it is going to do, it's completely the business. So business oriented. That's the reason I divided them as the business services. So you can see these are the business services we're going to implement. Now, always this, yeah, obviously, right? So I'm going to implement the agent service. Agent service functionality. Okay. In going forward demos, I'll discuss the high-level designs of these services. Okay. Like agent service HLD, broker service HLD, I'll discuss their functionality, their architecture and all. When I discuss the agent, when I discuss the broker, then you guys will get the complete picture about what the brokers can do. And however, my help will be there forever, I mean, for sure, uh, in implementing this broker service, right? You so being the students who are enrolling for this project batch, you must have to put your hands for sure. Okay, otherwise it won't be helpful for you. So you have to, definitely put your hands in implementation. Cool, but yeah, definitely I'll help. Okay, this is what the next is what the security services. So security services dealing with what? We are saying who can use our system. Our system can be used by the agents, brokers, and property owners, right? Our system can be used by the agents, brokers, property owners, and admins, of course, product admins. So they are what? Personas. I mean to say they are the users with some persona. So how to handle those users? To handle those users, we're going to implement the security service that is called the user management. You can see here, this is the user management service. So this user management service we're going to implement, which will takes care about handling the users. I mean to say the onboarding the users and creating the users with their specific persona, right? So that they can be log into our system when they will be getting to the activated in our system. Okay. Then the next business service is what the auth service, meaning authentication and then the authorization service. So this authentication and then the authorization service is the next security service, not business service. Next to security service. So which is dealing about providing the the authorization tokens to us. It is taking us to the IDP. I mean to say, maybe you are getting or not, I don't know, but you can see this is our product, right? So when I'm clicking on this, yep, we are landing on what? Our IDP page. We're landing on our IDP page. So who is taking care of this? This is taken care by our auth service behind the scene. Let's say I'm logging now. Okay, I'm logging now and signing. Yep, as soon as it's signing, I am being back to the our product as an admin, right? So who is taking care of this? This is taken care by the Auth service. So these two are the security services. So user management services for onboarding the users and then provisioning the users with the specific persona like agent or the broker or the owner or the admin or the super admin. And then the authn Z service is redirecting the user back to our key cloak IDP. And then once after the user authenticated over there, getting the authorization token, and then passing back the token to the UI application in the form of the cookie. So if I'm not wrong, we would have a cookie here, ACK cookie. Not here, probably there is an ACK cookie. Okay, so there is an ACK cookie for sure. That cookie contains the the session information and everything. Okay, so the tokens handling and then putting the tokens back into the um, Redis cache is taken care by the uh, authn service. I mean to say the authentication, authorizations, token management, everything is taken care by this authn service. Then we have the infra services. So our system, our backend services, I mean to say these business services, whatever we discussed so far, and the security services, right? So these business services, security services need to be protected, right? Need to be protected and need to be scaled up and need to be managed. So these services require the ecosystem, and that ecosystem is provided by these infra services. So as part of the infra services, we're going to implement the discovery server, API gateway, config server, and then distributed caching. That is the Redis caching. If you can see, we have the server-side load balancer and then the client-side load balancer. So both the load balancers we are using here. So you can see here it is the client-side load balancer. Here it is also the client-side load balancer. But what I mean to say, when the request comes to the gateway, here we're going to use the server, meaning the network load balancer, I mean to say, right? So everything will be secured. Our business services or business services especially will be secured with the infra services plus the security services. So the security services and then the business services management will be dealt by this infra services. So we have three infra services, gateway, discovery server, config server, and one more is rate limiter. So one more is rate limiter. Rate limiter is again out of the scope. I'll discuss, meaning maybe if time permit, we're gonna see. Otherwise, I'm just not going to cover that. That's all for today about this project concept overview, and then the project modules or the services, and then the UI. And tomorrow we're going to discuss about the system architecture and the each and every service high level details. Okay. Any questions for me? So here it is showing admin after login. So this user role is admin, correct? Or each is user is considered as an admin? No, no, no. Every user will have their own persona, right? So when the user, when the admin user login, the credentials I entered or the admin credentials, so the persona is the admin dashboard. If the credentials enter or the agent, then the dashboard will be the agent. So agent's dashboard will be not as same as the owner's, what is that? The admin's dashboard. If we can see the agent's dashboard, uh, yeah, agent's dashboard also have all these things, but if we can see codes, brokers, let me go back to the admin dashboard. Admin dashboard have the owner's information, but the agents doesn't have the owner's information, right? And similarly, if we can go and then see the owner's persona, it will be different. Owners don't have the all other options. Owners have only the properties and then the quotations information. And then owners can see who are all the agents for whom the quotation has been sent. And who are all the brokers for whom the quotation has been sent. So that information the the owner can see. So yeah, we're going to implement it. We have to implement it. Right now, it is showing as an admin because I have not handled the other personas yet. But we're going to do that, right? So we're going to do it from scratch. We will do that. Any more questions for me?
Yeah, so here owner is only the properties will be displayed related to the owner only. The other owners it will not display, right?
Obviously, right. So whoever have the, let's say I'm the owner, I have these three properties, and you are the owner. Maybe you have the different properties. So you can't see my properties, I can't see your properties. So that is the owner specific. Make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. Any
Sir,
more
are you
questions?
going to
Yeah.
cover React JS also as part of
No,
this
not
course?
from the scratch, right? I mean, okay,
Oh,
not the theory, but the implementation we're gonna cover from the very scratch. Meaning, I mean to say, okay, I don't explain what is React component, what is React service, right? What is
mm,
the app.js, what is the index.js. I don't explain all those things. So that prior knowledge you
understood.
guys have to get it. Because to get into that UI development, it will take at least 45 days for us. So during this 45 days of the time, you just go and then brush up your React skill and then come back. So my focus is more on to the implementation, not on to the theoretical aspects here. I'm expecting the theory should be already known to you. If the microservices don't know, that's okay. Meaning, however, we're going to implement the microservices architecture. So definitely I'll explain the concept behind the implementation, then we're going to implement it. But React, I'm not going to teach the theoretical things. But yes, practically we can see from the very scratch. Got
Got
it,
it,
right?
sir. Thank you, sir.
So fast we are going to develop only the backend and then we'll come up with the front end development, right?
No, I mean, I'm really not entertained that way. Um, at least what I mean to say is, let's go to again this one. It's a good question. So first we're gonna spend the security service. This is our first services. So we're gonna spend security services, and then we're gonna set up this key cloak and set up the key cloak with the primary and then secondary stores. And we're gonna run them as the Docker
So
containers.
as part of the security services, both the front end and back end development will be done,
Yeah. So
and then we'll
this
get to the code.
complete setup will take 20 to 30 days. Okay. And then we'll come to our UI. Then we're gonna integrate these two and then go back to the next set of services implementation. In that way, it will be side by side and it will helps you also. I mean to say, mean that you folks also can put your hands going forward with the business services because you know now how to integrate with the React, right? So by the completion of these services.
And
Yep.
sir, you also will upload your front end and back end code also, right? Because sometimes
Definitely.
like people like me, I'm not aware about the React.js completely, but only the basics overview or basics component I know. So in that case, if you share the front end, so it will be helpful to integrate with the services.
Yeah. 100%. So whatever the code we built, that code I'll put into a private repository and whoever will enroll, those enrolled candidates only will get the access to the private repository. See, this is how the code will be, right? So all the code I definitely will gonna share. This is for the different batch, and for our batch again create one more repository from the very scratch, and I will push all the code like back end and then front end, so that you guys can go and then refer every time. Any more questions, folks?
And this is the new batch we were going to start, right?
Yes, from the very scratch. Yes, new batch. Yep.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
you
That.
are Kafka also using in this project?
Yeah, we are using Kafka. Okay, so let me tell you, this is what the Kafka integration. See, when the property quotation is created, right? The
Okay.
property quotation will send to the agents and then the brokers. So how the
Yeah.
property quotation will be sent to the agents and the brokers? We're going to use
Using
the
Kafka.
Kafka.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Docker and Kubernetes, I don't know. So you like using, so you teach Java type.
No, that's what. Docker and Kubernetes, again, theoretical things I don't touch.
Okay.
I'm directly going to implement it. But if you don't know, just go through the basics of it. However, we're going
Okay.
to practically implement here so that the basics, whatever you got to know, right? Maybe you may go and then read some tutorials or somewhere else. So that basic stuff will helps you to understand what we're going to implement here. Okay,
Okay.
so that once we're done with our implementation, then you will become the master in Docker and then Kubernetes for sure. There is no doubt at all. So I can show you something. Oh, I lost the, let me go here. Yeah, this is the sample, Docker files, how we're going to create for each and every service. And this is what the Docker compose files, how we're going to create for each and every service. Don't worry, I'll explain everything,
Okay.
each and every line, why we are writing. I'm going to explain, right? The
Okay.
only thing is what you need to just come up with the little
Sir, I am
basic.
2017 pass out engineering.
Mhm. Mhm.
I have around 6-7 year gap. So how can I manage, and how
That,
much
um,
experience can I put? Can you suggest me?
okay. So what I can say is this project is whatever the project that I am going to teach, this project is for everyone.
Okay.
The in my other batches, maybe there were some leads as well. So they are
Okay.
also joining I mean, it is from the beginner to the, for everyone.
Okay.
So yeah, this is up to you. Meaning I can't answer that, but
Okay.
whatever the gap and all you have, how you manage. But okay, what I want to convey is the level and then the quality of this project will be definitely more than 8+ years for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If any like company asking client name, I put this project and asking interviewer your client. So how we manage client name?
So those are the things that the you folks only have to manage. Why? Because let's say assume let's say X numbers enrolled for this project. Assume
Okay.
if those X numbers will, or maybe the X minus Y members will put this project, it's not fair actually. This
Mm.
project is what actually to the grown up your skills and to implement everything on this ground. And
Okay.
you can put it as well, in your resume. There is no doubt about it. But the point is, if others will also be, the more number of people also will keep the same project and then they will become with the different clients, that could be a problem, right? Because I'm telling this is an open project, right? In the sense, this is now I'm telling in the, the famous institute. So
Yes.
a number of people will join. Maybe we don't know, who can represent this project to in their resume. So that could be a problem, I believe. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
But the concept, the whole and sole idea is here is the technicality, how the real quick things using the various technical stack, cutting edge technology, and latest technical trends, how we can use, how we can leverage in any project is what you're going to learn here. And this project is not a simple, 2 to 3 services implementation, they don't have any relations. No, it's not like that. It is probably all you folks might got a clear picture now how it is the business oriented, right? This project
Yeah.
is purely achieving a specific market gap. Whatever the market have the problem, that market problems is now it is solving. So it's just a business oriented for sure. Yep.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yep, not an issue. Thanks a lot. Sir, can you share this recording I joined? Yeah, recordings probably this video might be uploaded to the YouTube as well. Definitely, Durgasoft team will provide the recordings of it. Um, yeah, Samir. Very good morning, Samir. I had your name for famous real-time project faculty. Okay, my office time is for 9 a.m. Can I take the yeah recorded videos you can take, Samir, and I know thanks for remembering me. So yeah, recordings you can get everyday recordings will be provided by the Durgasoft team. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what else? Any more questions for me? Cool. So definitely this project will help you a lot, because it's not a simple one or two, one or two things that we're going to implement and then done. No, it's not like that. I'll show you something. See how the property code service is. See this, how this property code service, how much is weight this have. This property code service itself have these many tables. If you can go and then see. I mean, I'm just telling you to give you the importance of this thing. See, the property code service will have these many tables inside in it. That means what they're doing a purpose, right? So each and every, let's say we said simple quotation, but simple quotation, if you can see the simple quotation have a lot of things. Quotation have the property information, quotation have the quotation type, quotation have the owner information, quotation have the coverage type, policy type, and then quotation have the quotation document, and quotation have the property type. That means what? There is a lot of dependencies, or dependency modeling is what we need to handle. But we are dealing with the microservice architecture. Then how we do that? That is what an important things here, right? So shall we use the shared context model, or what are the God classes? Shall we use the God classes? So how the system modeling will be. So these things you're going to learn for sure, if you can enroll into this. However, thank you so much, folks, for your time, and hopefully we'll continue for further more demos. Any more questions? Great. Thank you so much for your time once again, and then see you tomorrow at the same time. Thanks a lot.